Back to physics lesson. The topic is here is electrostatics. So in last slide, I have seen last video. I have discussed about the charges, attraction, repulsion, like charges repel, unlike charges attract, and the charges is done by three process: contact, induction, and by friction. So Coulomb, Newton's law of gravitation. Coulomb's law is connected to the same connected connected to similar to gravitation law. So he is seeing that you can know that Newton's law of gravitation and the gravitation force between two objects mass m1 and m2 is proportional to the product of masses and inversely proportional to the square of a distance between them. So it's given as a F is equal to g times m1 n times m2 by over d square. So G is universal gravitational constants. The value is very small. This G is very 6.67 times 10 raised to negative 11 Newton meter square over kilogram square. So look at this value of negative 10 raised to negative 11 is the one makes gravitational force very weak. We'll see we'll see at the end of the session we can see that electric force is much higher compared to the gravitational force. You know the gravitational force is compared to the electric force is very weak, and therefore and a weak force is unified with the electric force. That's what Einstein tried to do it, and then it was unified field theory, and still research is going on that over unified field theory. Later, the electric force between two objects obeys similar inverse square relationship with the distance. This relationship was discovered by the French physicist Charles Coulomb. And in the 18th century, Coulomb's law states that charged particles or objects are small compared with the distance between them. The force between the charges varies directly as a product of the charges. So here, in the case of gravitational, you have mass. So in case of electric force, it is the charges. So if two charges here, Q1, and here another charge Q2, the separation is D, then it obeys. So where K is a constant, it is usually given as 9 into 10 raised to 9. So it is also is 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. So it is given here. See, this value of K is given here. Newton, the unit is Newton meters per Coulomb square. 9 times 10 raised to 9 is Newton meter square. So Newton meter square over Coulomb square. So usually we don't take this in one, and because the value is already given here, 9 to 10 to 9, 10 raised to 9. So the students of any classes, instead of remembering these things, it's better to go for that. For higher classes, it may require, and what is this is absolute zero is called the absolute permittivity of air, So we will not discussing now this one here. So the SI unit of charge is a Coulomb, that everybody knows, and everybody has a capital letter C. Common sense might be say that the charge of a single electron, but it's for a historical reason it turns out to be 1 Coulomb with a charge of 6.24 billion electrons. That means 6.24 10 raised to 12 electrons, 6.2 billion electrons. 1 Coulomb is a charge of so many electrons, 1 Coulomb. This might seem like the greater number of electrons, but it represents only the amount of charge that passes through a common 100-watt light bulb is about in 1 second. Look at that. This is very important. This is very significant information, which we see when the light bulb glows, 100-watt bulb glows. What happens actually? It is a great number of electrons, a billion electrons, represent any amount of charge that passes through common